trying to figure out what happened with this thing. To where all of a sudden, the meter's not working right. Now the frequency counter still works. However, the meter doesn't seem to be working. Now, if I have to buy another one, I will. But, you know, I hate to buy another one like this or similar to this. They don't make this one anymore. This is old. I mean, so it's tired. For instance, there's one out there that has 3 meters. SWR, power, modulation, with a frequency counter. But it's like 250 bucks. I don't use it enough to justify 250 bucks. Now, I can buy a new frequency counter that'll probably work just fine for under 100. And I could probably buy a meter that'll work just fine for about 100. So let's just say 200 bucks. Oh, 2 more screws. And then I'd have 2 units up here, or 250, and I have 1 unit that does everything. Now, the good and the bad. If you have 1 unit that does everything, it's nice because it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. Bad thing is, if something goes wrong with it, you lose everything. Like in this case, meter stopped working. Frequency counter still works. So I can just buy a meter and keep this here, but it's just something else in line. I need to find out why this meter stopped working. Like all of a sudden. It's almost like a cap or a diode or something popped. But I don't see that happening because they're not going to use, as a rule, a diode on something that's RF related. So I'm kind of like just looking to see if there's anything there that looks like it might be out of the ordinary. Signal comes in where? Here. So this is the antenna input, this is the output. Not the antenna input, this is the radio input, this is the antenna output. Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What do I see there? Let me, yeah. Well, let me see. Let me get a radio. Let me get a radio over here. What do I got up here? Okay, so we have a radio. Four-pin mic. It's a Cobra Uniden. No, it's a Cobra radio. It's a Uniden mic, but Cobra and Uniden are the same. The only one that's different is Midland. I don't even know if they make a Midland anymore. Midland had their own little wiring, where all your other ones, your export radios, your Unidens, your Cobras, your Presidents, they were all the same. Okay, I need power for this. Well, that's going to be easy enough. Let's just get a couple of jumpers. A 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Wait a minute, I thought do I? Yeah, I do, but that's alright. Let's just do this for now. Now we'll just tap this onto here. And tap this into here. The single side is the power. The double side is the negative side of the power. They're both power basically. One's not going to work without the other, but okay, let's tie into here. There. Okay, so we have power there. Now we need antennae. This is not going to be real long now, is it? So this goes here. And this one goes here. Okay, it's not giving me much room here to work with. I can still see what the hell we're doing, I guess. This goes into here. And I got to make sure that I have an antenna hooked up to this, because I haven't got a dummy load. I should make a dummy load and just get it over with, but yeah, you don't think about it. Okay, so where's this thing going? This goes to where? This has to go to somewhere here. This goes nowhere. So let me get an antenna hooked up. Hold on. Now this isn't right way of doing this. I'm hooking up the VHF antenna to a UHF to a 11-meter radio, so the SWR is going to be sky high. This was the radio, right? Transmitter, or in this case transceiver, and antenna. Okay, so let's change that. Let's get rid of these, and we're going to do what we need to do. We are going to put there, bring over the Bofang in the adapter. We can use this. Now the connector for the antenna on this is what they call an SMA connector. So we're going to screw the SMA adapter into there, and then I can put the PL259 connector onto here. So we have a way of hooking it up to the antenna,
channel mode,
which is there. Okay, so now, see, this is pinning. Let's go to here. Okay, not quite as
low
bad.
voltage,
Yeah, I know we got low voltage. Give me a break. Power.
low voltage,
Oh, shut up.
low voltage,
Yeah. Let me go get another radio. This one here is going dead on me.
channel mode,
Yeah, I know. I had you sitting here all day yesterday and day before. Turned on, so that's what happens. So we'll put you over here and we'll grab another one. Put you in the charger and let's try this one. This should be an SMA. Let me see. Yeah, this is an SMA. Now this one takes a different, it's an SMA, but this one is the male that screws into the other radio, which is the female. On this one, it's a male. So I need another adapter for this one. So hold on. I'm going to need this adapter. Alright. So now this will screw into here, onto this SMA. SMA. And then we'll screw the PL259 into here. And it accomplishes the same thing. And we are still using a VHF radio. This is a marine radio by Standard Horizon, which is also part of Yaesu. And I don't want to just start transmitting anywhere on this. I got to find a place to go. Okay, so this one's shutting down on me. That's because, why? See, this meter's causing a lot of problems. Okay, so this one ain't gonna work. So let's see here. Alright, so enough to use that one. We're having a hell of a good time here today, aren't we? Okay, so let's try this one. What connector does this one have on it? This is another SMA, but the other one. Okay, let's go back to the other one. See what I mean? You have one little problem with something and you don't know where the problem is. Is it in this or is it in that? You know, is it this or that? And because I haven't got a bench really set up for doing this anymore, it's kind of tough. Okay. Now you may or may not see what's going on over here. Probably not. There's a, oh, you can't. There's a meter over there. Let me put a jumper in there so I can get it over here so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me get another barrel connector and a 3-foot jumper. So what I'm going to do is screw this into here. This is a barrel connector. This is so that we can put two PL259 connectors together like this, so I can lengthen the wire. You just can't splice these wires. You splice them, you're going to blow up your radio. And you really don't want to load up a wire with connectors either, because the more connectors you put in line, you end up with a loss. Okay, so here's where we're at. Here's the meter. Can you see the meter now? You can, but you're not going to be able to read it. All right. This is a 5-watt radio, and it's pinning the scale here, so we have an issue. Now, frequency-wise, it doesn't seem to be showing the right frequency either. Now, let's try changing it to low. Nah, you know what? It's time to order new. That's all there is to it. FM mod. On FM, okay, we are showing what? Hey, baby. I put the shims in that pipe out there.
Oh, okay.
So at least we're pretty set for now, you know? The other day when we were working on the radio, you know, Ray came over.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out what's going on. Well, part of the problem was the meter wasn't working right.
Oh.
All right? So that's throwing us off. And then the radio was doing everything it needed to do. I think I told you, right? It's a Part 90,
Yeah.
so it's a business band, so it has everything in it already. You don't have to convert it.
Oh.
But because I couldn't get it to work, because the meter wasn't working.
You got a proof thing on the back of your head.
I got a who?
A proof here on the back of your head.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what's that all about?
All right. Let's strip this down. This is not working, so we're gonna buy another one. So I don't care. Get this out of here, because this we can always use. We'll hang that over here for now, and there should be a rubber grommet in here, which there is. There that is. I can put that over there. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Nope, I put the damn adjustable away. There. Let's get this off. Because again, these PL250, yeah, these SO239s can be used. Actually, I got to make an antenna switch, so these will come in handy. If I buy one, it's going to cost me about $50. I can make it, you know, in maybe an hour or so with the parts that I already have from stuff that I saved. So. Save that right there. This is worth saving, believe it or not. That's not. That's not, 'cause I have tons of this stuff. These I'll just heat it up with the solder iron. Take them off, so I don't need the board. Scrap. Not scrap. Not scrap. Okay. So let's put the washer back on here and the nut back on there. Oh, come on. So anyway, today is Sunday. I don't know the date. I'm going to say it's probably the 26th or the 27th. And it's probably close to 3 o'clock. Take this knob off, or try to get it off anyway. This is a push-pull, which is nice to have. Is there a screw on that on there? Yeah, there is. Okay. Push-pulls are nice. It's a double function. You push it in, you have your adjustment, and then you pull it out, and you also have an adjustment. So they definitely come in handy. It's like a dual-purpose switch. Definitely worth hanging on to. Let's get this wire all off here. And I'll clean it up another time, but right now I don't need that. So let's take these, put these back on, put that back on, put the nut back on. Let's put this knob back on. There. And we got ourselves a good push-pull. Now see, these switches are good because they're individuals. And I can get those off just by peeling off the faceplate. The frequency counter part is just, well, I'm not going to worry about taking that off. Let's get the plate off here so I can get to those screws. I should be able to get this off. Come on, be nice. There you go. There's 4 switches here I can use, so let's get those off. There. Philip! Keep these little screws to go with it. I don't like these cutters, but I don't feel like getting up to get another pair. Now I'll put these screws back in. So tomorrow's a holiday. I'll meet up and have coffee, but we're not going to stay there all morning. Paulie, one of the guys that has coffee with us, he's with the police department, so he says he's not going to be able to make it because there's a parade. And you know, I can use those. At one point, I was actually thinking about getting in the parade, but I said, you know what? I really didn't feel like jumping in on it. Well, I did, but I don't. You know what I mean? Because then that means I'd have to put a banner on the truck. I don't have one made up. I don't feel like making one up. Now, why I'm taking these screws is because they have the nut, the spacer nuts in between. And those are nice to have sometimes if you have to elevate something off the board. So it doesn't hurt to have them. Alright, let's get back to this. So, we'll go for some quick coffee tomorrow. Something light, and I'll get home and spend time with my wife. Aha! There's the problem. Now I find it after I just look at that. Let me cut this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's too late now, but I found out what the problem was with the meter. And in defense of myself, I probably wouldn't have noticed it because it was so far down. But again, if I looked harder, I probably would have. Can you see that wire's burnt? Shorted out. These two are shorting out to one another, the red and the green. Yeah. Got hot and it shorted out. That's why the meter stopped working. Well, you know, the other side of the coin is too, there may have been a reason why that happened. It doesn't just happen. So, what are you gonna do? It was meant to be, I guess. That's all I can tell you. No sense crying over spilt milk. Because like I say, why did that short out to start with? You know, you like to look at it and say, oh, that's an easy fix, which it would have been if it was just a wire, but it could have turned into something more. Okay, where else? Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna say, I know I had more. Nice day today. Okay, so now let's put these back together. I don't want to lose them. I want to keep it as a set. There's the screw. Here's the spacer nut. And here's the other screw. Screw, mini washer, lock washer rather, spacer nut. And screw. Okay. Gotta take those off. Let me see here. I'm not even gonna worry about solder wick or anything. I'm just gonna see if I can loosen it up enough to get it out of there. There we go. I'm not looking to save solder. I'm not looking to resolder. I'm just looking to get it off. There we go. There we go. Turn that off. There's nothing on this board I'm going to need. Let's take this off the rest of the way. Let's take this board out. And it looks like it has some spacer nuts on there as well, because the board is elevated off the frame of the meter. Now there's nothing on this board either that I really need. This is the LEDs for the frequency counter. Do I need them? Do I have a need for it? I mean, not as a frequency counter, but do I have a need for it in general as an LED? Probably not, but let me see something here. If I do this, oops, no, let's not do that. Let's do this. No. Nothing. Nothing that I can do, worry about. Alright, so that's garbage. I ain't gotta worry about it. Nothing here other than the screw. I'm not going to concern myself with this meter because again, I'm not going to be getting involved with anything, and I don't know if this meter is any good to start with. Now these screws, there's an old jumper, again have the spacer nuts in here so that it keeps the board off. So I'll keep those. Oh, we got rubber feet on here too, which is nice to keep. So come on, come on. There we go. Actually, wait a minute. I think I can make this a little bit quicker and easier. Bungle. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Now, why am I going to keep this case? Well, there's a few reasons. I'm not going to keep the meter because I don't know if it works or not. But by keeping the case, I can put a small plate on the front of it and use it for making a switch box or something. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Now this, let me take that off. I think I can get in here with this. Well, maybe not. I'll try it. There we go. And this one is a nut. A nut, did you say? I did. this, I really, yeah, you know what, I can probably use that. I'm gonna, alright, that's garbage. Okay, so this is what I have. Now, yeah, this has got a big place in the front here. However, if I wanted to, see, I told you I need to make a switch box, an antenna switch box. So I can take these two, put in here, now that the board is off. I can drill a couple more holes and put two more, so I can have 4 in here if I wanted to. Now with the 4 of them in there, I could take and I could put a selector switch up in here. I could put a plate over this, so I have a whole new plate to work on. And then I can use my selector switch for switching antennas. Now I can also bring a fuse box in here with a power source, so I can select power as well. So it gives me a lot of options by having a case. Or I can just use it for something totally different and none of that at all. But by having it here, at least I have that option. If something comes up, I'll go, oh, wait a minute. I got a case over here I might be able to use. This is garbage. And that's about it. The rest of this is going to be put into a another little, well, I got one right here, so let me get it. And throw this in here, and I'll go through it later. I got to sort it out and put it in its perspective places. That wire goes down there with the little wire. That goes over here. This goes over here. These go here, and we're done. All right. Catch you later.